Meanwhile, back on the home front, this weekend offered stark images articulating our nation's deep political divide, as 8 to 9 million people took to the streets for the No Kings protest. Yeah, they did it. While a slightly smaller group of, let's call them heritage Americans, took to the Reagan Meeting Room 1A on the second floor for their Yes Kings rally.
If you want an object lesson on what a strong commander-in-chief looks like, take a look at the current resident of the Oval Office, President Donald J. Trump.
What he's been able to do in 1 year is truly remarkable.
Great president, greatest president of my lifetime.
That guy is an Energizer Bunny.
We'll never get another president like Donald Trump, never. And that's why it's important that we do everything that we can to try to get him reelected.
I'm sorry, that's Reverend Franklin Graham saying, praise the Lord and f the Constitution. Now look, far be it for me to question the wisdom of this year's CPAC convention, but clearly the vibes this year were slightly off.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No, that was the wrong answer.
That's a rookie crowd work mistake, Slap. See, they cheered for Trump's impeachment, not realizing that you were calling for the counter. But that's on you. Crowds are like dogs. They react to tone. You can get them excited about anything. Who wants to go to the vet? Who wants to get their balls cut off? Yes, who knew? See, in Trump land, old Donald didn't let something as trivial as a war keep him from doing his rounds at the golf course and at a Saudi investment meeting in Miami, because God forbid, during a war, he let the precipice of World War III yuck his yum in any way. That was Trump's weekend. And I find it so astounding that this nuclear-armed man-baby doesn't seem to have any understanding of the confusion and anxiety that his ill-planned adventure in Iran is causing this country. He's just trucking along like it's any old episode of The Apprentice. Here is Trump last night on Air Force One. Watch him try and focus for more than 2 sentences on the war he started before veering off into what really matters.
It truly is regime change. And regime change is an imperative, but I think we have it automatically. I did something today. We just got these in from the architects. A lot of people are talking about how beautiful the ballroom is. For 150 years, they've wanted to build a ballroom at the White House. Here's another view. This is coming from right opposite the Treasury building. Here's a view on the south with the porch. This is a view of it from the north, and there'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far.
Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you get something that size on a plane? But I guess he's allowed. It's his emotional support ballroom picture. Now, you may say, well, what prompted this presentation about the ballroom? Well, it turns out this incredibly long-winded visual aid-assisted timeshare presentation was spurred by a critical New York Times article that had the gall to suggest that sometimes Trump's plans don't hold up to scrutiny.
The Times had architects analyze plans for the ballroom. They pointed out design flaws like staircases that seemed to lead nowhere.
Oh, okay, woke New York Times. When MC Escher does that, it's art. Oh, but you put it on an actual building, and suddenly it's, this doesn't make any sense. And I appear to be trapped. For the ballroom, Trump will pull an all-nighter for a point-by-point rebuttal. For the war, literally doesn't have the focus to answer one question about the dire consequences of his actions on his favorite network.
I think it is alarming that we have not been able to see or hear from any of the Iranian people And I think there is some general worry about them. Do you have any insight as to how they are doing? Do they have drinking water? Do they have food?
Wow, straightforward question. It asked the president to put himself in the shoes of those purportedly we're trying to liberate and the suffering they may be going through. The Iranian people are hurting, sir.
Do they have food?
Right, I do.
It's upsetting.
I do. But first, you remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
So the point is, the Iranians might not have food, but you remember you and I about 12, 13 years ago had a club sandwich? Remember that?
It's a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago, and you haven't changed. Oh. You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what you're doing. But
well,
I will
Fox
not
hair
say
and
that.
makeup has a lot
I will
to do
not
with
say
that.
that because that will end my political career. You know, you're not allowed to say a woman's beautiful anymore.
You know, it's funny, Dana, your question about the suffering of the Iranian people has somehow made me horny. I don't know why. You asked me, do they have food? Do they have water? And the whole time I'm thinking, like, what a piece of ass. What a delightful piece of ass. You are. You remember that, Dana? Remember how I made you uncomfortable at lunch? You remember? I do that. I do that a lot to women. I make them uncomfortable. What was your question? I don't remember your question. The war, other than the occasional tweet, doesn't seem to occupy any space in Trump's brain. And by the way, not just for TV. On Friday, he addressed a room full of Saudi investors who you would think might be very concerned about the bombings in their neighborhood. But he wants to let them know we don't have to talk about that at all.
I'm asked to take a few questions, and unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want.
We can ask about sex. Whose name is that? Is that your f***ing name? Whose name is that? Or you meant like general sex shit, like love line shit. Sorry. You know, honestly, his leering behavior is less commander-in-chief at war and more grandpa who's lost his filter in public. Instead of assuaging a nervous nation, he's just embarrassing the whole family at dinner going, hey, do you see our waitress is a busty one, huh? Just like your grandma was. But like any good monarchy, Trump's loyal henchmen assure you that it's really the opposite of everything you're seeing.
He has encyclopedic molecular knowledge. I was on the airplane with him, and we were sitting across the table from each other. We started talking about Syria, and he got a placemat, and he turned it on its back, and then he took a Sharpie, and he drew a perfect map of the Mideast. And then he put the troop strength of every country on every border on that map.
Has anyone thought about filming that? Let us see that, because that's not what we see. What we see is a president 4 weeks into a war he has yet to fully explain, with objectives he has yet to fully define, only displaying molecular knowledge in a cabinet meeting of his own pen preferences.
So I came here, they have $1,000 pens. And you know, you hand pens out, you're signing and you hand them out, you're handing them to all these people. Beautiful pen, ballpoint. 1,000, it was gold, silver, gold. I'm handing out to kids that don't even know what they're, what is this, Mommy? So I take it out. And I saw it and there's no ink. And I got all you people looking, and you say, there must be something wrong with pen right here. This pen is an interesting example, it's the same thing. This one I called the guy. I said, I'd like to use your pen, but I can't have a gray thing with a big S on it. saying Sharpie.
He said, well, I can
As
make it
inside.
nicer. He said, what can you do? He said, I'll paint it black, sir, if you like. In gold. Almost real gold.
That's a cabinet meeting during a f***ing war. Don't tell us what to use to draw the map. Just draw the f***ing map. You know, all we keep hearing from this administration is why the American people have to sacrifice for Trump's vision of America's greatness. That these temporary disruptions are just part of the process. And why can't we be patriots? We have to be patient. We have to suck it up. Whether it's high gas prices or whimsical tariff inflation or draconian ICE raids or temporary Bill of Rights suspensions. It's on us to understand. But Trump gets to be just the same old, ain't I a stinker? Utterly self-absorbed. Remember when I used to want to f*** hot girl's twat self? Can you imagine any other president, let alone a wartime president, being this f***ing indulgent?
And they were $1,000 a piece. Beautiful pen, ballpoint. 1,000. It was gold, silver, gorgeous. But I'm handing out to kids that don't even know what they're. What is this, mommy? This is kids. They're getting a pen for $1,000. They have no idea what it is.
Now, to be fair to Trump, pen technology was, at FDR's time, quite primitive. But Trump is the guy you want to be your king? That's who you want.
It's important that we do everything that we can to try to get him reelected.
Really? This is the guy you'll break the Constitution for. The American monarchy begins with this guy. And this is the line we face in this country. No kings versus kings. But a word of caution. Generally with monarchies, the first guy is the best guy. It's the guy that's so good, it makes the people want a king. A Charlemagne, an Alexander, a Ralph. But pretty soon, corruption and inbreeding take their toll on the monarchy and turn your king into this guy. Old Charles II. Yeah, that's his real head. He liked cheese. It was his favorite food. So go ahead. But just understand, we're starting a lot closer to Charles than Charlemagne.